Have you found yourself in a meeting, at a business mixer, a church event, or in an elevator, and you encounter someone that you realize as someone that could help you advance whatever project you're working on? You know that that person has great influence and could advance your idea to the next level. As the seconds go by, you realize that precious time is not coming back and the opportunity will be gone forever. Your mouth is dry, your stomach is in knots, your thoughts escape you, your feet seem to sink to the ground, and you are a mess. Well, tick-tock, tick-tock, what are you gonna do? A few minutes later, the opportunity is in fact gone. Now your ideas come back to you, you can move on, and you're kicking yourself in the butt. Has that ever happened to you? I know it's happened to me. You had a case of glossophobia. Glossophobia is simply speech anxiety where one has fear of public speaking. The Institute of Mental Health reports that 73% of the population suffers from glossophobia or suffers from public speaking anxiety. I was like some of you, then I realized that my voice could be the thing that allows someone else to move in the right direction. So I had to get over my own fears and get to work. So this is what we're here to talk about today. Finding your voice. Communication that commands and demands respect. I'm delighted that you are here. My name is Tanika Howard, and I am so honored to be a part of the Flames Within Virtual Summit. Big shout out to Amurra Bey for inviting me to be a part of this week's lineup. Just to give you some insight on me, although this time is about you, I think you deserve a little bit of background on who is facilitating and leading you on this path. So I'm a 20-year Air Force veteran with a background in administration and intelligence. However, I spent the bulk of my service managing and directing people, whether at home or abroad, in small teams and more massive ones. I had lots of opportunities to do some amazing things and innovative work with military and civilian partners. I also spent my time volunteering in local schools and giving back. That is where I found my voice and my purpose and where I was needed, and that is with young adults. So now I'm retired. I'm a high school teacher in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I run my leadership and communications development company, Lead Her, a healthy lifestyle brand for women building the confidence needed to make healthy lifestyle decisions. I spend time coaching executives, teams, and entrepreneurs, helping them to work better, leading organizations on working more efficiently as a unit. So as you can see, I'm passionate about leadership and just as equally excited about communication. Another facet of my company is through social media. I highlight women and businesses that have raised the bar in their field and give them a voice to tell the world who they are and what they do. So finding my voice, I have been able to open the doors for so many other people. Now back to why we're here, I'll tell you that I have made a ton of mistakes and I've missed some opportunities because I didn't want to use my voice. Or when I did use my voice, I sounded like a blundering idiot because I wasn't fully prepared for the opportunity. I want you to avoid those mistakes. Today we're going to focus on the 3 areas of finding your voice. Those 3 areas are the benefits of finding your voice, why you must find your voice, and how to find your voice. Our first point is exploring the benefits of finding your voice. The benefits of finding your voice. I call that my hashtag WIIFM, or what's in it for me. What are the benefits of being an effective and impactful communicator? I would imagine that some of you are like, Tanika, I have no problem speaking and talking to people. I had the same idea until it dawned on me that I was not maximizing the time that I was spending with people because I wasn't communicating. See, talking to someone is not the same thing as getting your point across in a way that they will either leave buying your product, following your instruction, or even connecting with you. You have to make sure that you put your thoughts together and you polish them in a way that your audience understands it. I conducted a search on the key skills that employers look for in potential employees hired for leadership positions. If we were together, I would ask you to throw some things at me. And in this case, you can just chat your response if you'd like. What do you think the number 1 skill is? Time's up. that number one skill is communication. Now that's mind-blowing to me because when we talk about skills that employers are looking for, you would think that education or leadership or even management skills would be at the top of that list. But employers are looking for communicators. Now this is the same skill that is important for all of you in the positions where you must convey a message. I share that because when you're talking about the benefits of finding your voice, you must be able to effectively communicate. It could lead to additional business opportunities, advancements, and even promotions. As an entrepreneur, it is vitally important because a lot of your business can come from referrals. Although I may know you and the business that you do, the people that I refer you to will have no firsthand knowledge of you. So you'll need to communicate the message and sell yourself what you do and what you can do for them. When I had the opportunity to recommend or put someone in a leadership position, how well they communicated was at the top of my list. See, I can teach a person how to do something or even give them the playbook to be successful. But if those people can't communicate or convey the message to others, that is going to cause serious issues, not only for the team, but for the business or the mission. Some additional benefits of finding your voice are it can lead to opportunities for advancement, whether in your career or in your relationships, and it can boost your confidence. When I know I've prepared for a meeting or an upcoming speaking engagement, such as this one, I walk in feeling great and I feel confident that the material I will be presenting is going to be polished and relevant to the audience because I pulled together my thoughts and I'm able to speak clearly. Another benefit is a part of your own personal development. Prior to starting my business, I noticed that I was doing a lot more speaking in public than I even imagined. It was in that time that I decided to invest in a program that could help me polish my skills as a speaker and a coach. Again, with training, I have a little more confidence in what I'm saying, which in turn helps me to communicate in different ways for different audiences. I challenge you to improve in a certain area of communication and see what doors can open and what opportunities can present themselves because of your willingness to improve. I want you to think about the steps to improvement and unlock your future opportunities. We've talked about the benefits of finding your voice. Now let's move on to the second reason to find your voice, and that is why you must find your voice. Why you must continue to improve on your skills as a communicator. Now I know you're saying again, Tanika, you just went over the benefits. So isn't that my why? Not necessarily. The benefits are for you and the opportunities that you will receive, but the why is for others. I will tell you that for many years I had the opportunity to use my voice. However, I was either too shy, too nervous, or too intimidated by the people around me to even open my mouth. You see, you must understand that leadership is influence, nothing more and nothing less. There were people waiting for me to open the door for others to fall in line. I had to understand because I was the one that got the opportunity. That opportunity carried a responsibility so that others could carry on when I was gone. So I have the responsibility to find my voice and how I was going to communicate with others so I could create opportunities for the future. The reason you must find your voice is because people are waiting for you. There are people that need your voice because they won't be changed, they won't be delivered or set free because of your voice. Now that's plain and simple. Your leadership is dependent on who you influence. I get a chill when I think about people or even the leaders that are waiting for me to open my mouth so that they can get a word, get an inspiration, or get some knowledge from me. I'll tell you, I had a dear friend and mentor confront me because I continued to put off the launch of my business. I had so many excuses as to why I shouldn't do it, and then the pandemic happened. I used that as my ultimate excuse. My mentor told me, Tanika, someone is waiting for you. How can you lead the next generation if you won't open your mouth? That made me a little emotional because in that moment, I felt like I was letting people down. People that I didn't even know. People that I didn't know, but I felt an emotional tie to. That is when I kicked things into overdrive and set a launch date. And I said to myself, I'll continue to work on it as I go, but someone is waiting on me. And that is why you must find your voice. Someone is waiting on you. And since I launched my business, someone has been waiting. I get connections from people all around the world, and it's so inspiring to know that my message is received, and someone hears what I'm saying. Someone wants to hear what I'm saying in my voice. So we're going to be saying, I don't need to say something because someone else has already said it, or they're somewhere in the same arena as me, and they're talking about the same thing that I'm talking about. Well, I'll tell you, there are many different leadership development coaches out there. There are many different communication coaches out there. We all work in the same space, but we say things in different voices. And I will tell you that when I speak, that word, that message, that information is for someone out there. And there's room enough for all of us to work, because there is someone that is waiting on your voice, from your lips to their ears. They are waiting for you. It's not the other person, because there are 5 different coaches that could probably say the same thing. But if they're not speaking in the same language, that person's not going to understand. You must understand that everyone is not for you. So as you're building your business, everyone is not for you. Your voice is not going to be for everyone. There are many people like you, but only you have the voice and that particular message for those people that you will influence. Cut out the internal and external noise and find your voice. And I know I've spent a minute on this particular area, but it's important. So why you should find your voice? Because someone is waiting for you. An additional reason why you must find your voice is because I know you've heard this before. Use it or lose it. That's right, sister. Use it or lose it. Use the gift, use that ability, use that talent that you have before it's gone. See, I spent many years working on my education, which included a master's degree, and months working on my speakers and coaches certification, and learning other skills that could help me with my business. Now, let's just say the conversation I had with my mentor fell on deaf ears, and I continued to put off the launch of my business. All of the time I spent in the classroom would have been wasted, because although I had the certificates on the wall, I was not actively applying the skills to impart wisdom into someone else. Another thought is, by sitting on what you have, enables someone that may not have the same qualities or attributes to get an opportunity that could have been yours. So why should you find your voice? Someone is waiting on you, and we will lose the opportunities. Now let's talk about the how. And we're going to use the acronym LEAD HER. That's right, LEADHER, LEAD HER, to explain how to find your voice. How do you find your voice? How do we become someone that commands and demands respect? So the L, let go. Let go of the internal and external noise that cause you to lose your voice. It doesn't matter what's going on. Someone is waiting on your voice. So let go of everything that's going on with you, because it's not about you. It is about that someone that is waiting to hear your voice. So L, let go. So E, establish your why. Know what your purpose is. Know why it is that you're here. The bits of your journey that you use to connect with your audience, that's going to motivate you to keep going. So every time I'm talking to someone or I'm talking to an audience, I always establish my why. I know exactly why I'm in that moment. I know what the why is for that, whatever it is. I understand it and I apply it. I establish my why. Here at the Flames Within Summit, establishing my why, I had to know that there was someone here that needed my voice to light the fire so that they can go forth and use their voice. So you got to establish your why. The A, audience presence. Who is your perfect audience, and know who you're catering to? A lot of people, when I first started off in the business, I said, I want to save the world. I want to help everybody, and there's nobody off limits. And I work with a team of people, and they were like, let's bring this down a notch. Bring this down a notch, because you need to understand who you are, who you want to be known for, and how you want to make those people feel. You can't make everyone feel the same. Male, female, young, old. You have to like zero down. And I had to really like buckle down and find out who my audience was. And once I found out, I've been successful ever since. So that's A, your audience presence. Your D, determine your path. Narrow down your topics and perfect it. I will tell you that there are a lot of people out there, there are a lot of speakers, and there are a lot of coaches, and there are a lot of mentors out there, and they talk about a lot of topics. I will tell you, now that's fine, you can do that, but I will tell you there's a path for you. There's something there's a flame inside of you, and it just like bursts when you talk about that thing. So my thing is leadership and communication. I love those two subjects. I read books on them. I try to dissect parts of it. So when I'm doing speaking engagements or I'm mentoring, I'm coaching, although I have a lifestyle brand, I zero back into leadership and communication. The H, hone your skill set. You must develop yourself constantly. And you can't just rely on today's information. You have to constantly expand, refine, and perfect your messaging. So like I said before, I have pieces of content that I use for many different audiences. But I also take the time to go back in and I refine and I update. So like today, I gave you a statistic on glossophobia. I'm going to, if I use that reference again, I'm going to make sure that I look that up and make sure that that statistic is still accurate, because I want to make sure that my skill set and what I'm talking about is always accurate and timely for my audience. So the E, educate yourself. Know what you're talking about. Like there are so many people, I see it so often that people, they do live events, they go on social media lives, and they're just talking. You must educate yourself. I'll tell you that. And I don't mean having a degree, it's educating yourself. Whatever your craft is, you must be able to talk about it. You must be able to dissect it, know the benefits of it. You must be able to make sure that you're able to engage your audience. Now, I will tell you that's that part is something that is very important, the education piece. Because your audience, especially when you ask that magic question, does anyone have any questions? You don't know what your audience is going to ask you. You don't know from what direction it's going to come. And when they ask you a question, you got to make sure that you have somewhat of an answer. Now, I'm not going to say you need to have 100% of the answers, but you need to make sure that you're educating yourself and developing yourself so that you're able to continuously grow and to continue to expand on whatever it is you're talking about. Now, I will tell you one way to do that is to keep your circle, the circle of people that you professionally develop with, keep those people relevant. Keep those people, if those people are like-minded, you're probably going to be feeding off of one another. And I like that because I have a community of speakers and coaches that I'm always tapping into and asking questions, especially if it's an audience that I've never really engaged with, or an organization that maybe I haven't engaged with. I want to make sure that I'm able to speak their language and I'm not speaking a language that's foreign to them, because that's the difference between landing that contract or severing a relationship tie because you're not speaking the same language. So make sure that you're educating yourself. And that R, the R. This is the most important. I love it that it's the last one. The R is really be yourself. Don't try to emulate someone else. Don't try to do something that you heard another speaker or another coach do. It just doesn't come across as authentic. I will tell you that there's a lot of content, there's a lot of material out there, there's a lot of speakers, a lot of coaches, but I will tell you, when I watch them for a different reason. There are many leadership development coaches. There are a lot of empowerment speakers, and when I hear them, there's no way that I can emulate them. Their stories, their voice, it is so authentic to them that I could never emulate them. I take tidbits. I'm like, oh man, I like their energy, or oh, I like the fact that they had music before they came out, or I like their intro or something like that. But I never duplicate it. I want to always come across as my same authentic self. So if you see me in this space, you're going to see me in a different space, same person. I'm going to give you my authentic self every time, because when you're being booked for engagements or for any type of event, they want you. They want you, your voice. They don't want anything else. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for Tanika Howard. They know that when they call me, they're getting Tanika Howard, not anybody else. So I want you to remember that. Remember the LEADHER. Let go, establish your why, your audience presence, determine your path, hone your skill set, and educate yourself and really be yourself. So we covered 3 areas in finding your voice. First, the benefits. Secondly, the why. And third, how you can do it. And we use the acronym LEADHER. LEADHER. Now you can go out there, find your voice, command and demand the respect you deserve. I challenge you to not sit on this information. Let it sink in and then put it to practical use. Here are 3 ways you can put finding your voice to good use. One way is to go out and tell someone like your spouse, your colleague, or your pastor what you learned today. 2, write down things that you can do with your newfound information. And 3, do something with it. I would love to hear your comments and your questions as to what we covered today. And I want you to connect with me. Follow me on my social media platforms at LeadHer10. That's right, LEADHER10 on Facebook and Instagram. Or you can catch me on LinkedIn at Tanika Howard, or head over to my website at www.h2gleadher.net, where you can get to know me more, join my mailing list, or even sign up for my next Communication is Currency Masterclass. I want to take this thing up a notch with you. I want you to go out there and effectively communicate. So sign up for my next masterclass, Communication is Currency. I want to thank you again for joining me today. Thank Ms. Amurra Bey for this opportunity. It's been great helping you find your voice. So until next time, we'll see you soon.